All right, good morning, you guys. Happy Thursday. It is day 4, and we are talking about your niche and how to find your niche. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and there's 5 steps of finding our niche. So I'm going to start with that. So it starts with you. Okay, make sure that you guys are going through the guides. I know that there's a lot of posts being posted here. Like I said on the first video, I had to turn on the pre-approval posts because they were asking questions that we haven't got to it yet. So if your post is pre-approved for waiting for a pre-approval, that's because I had to turn that on. Okay. Second thing is make sure that you're watching the guides. This is at your own pace. Just know that the videos will be deleted in 30 days, not because of me, but because of the rules of Facebook. Okay. So good morning everyone. Make sure you watch the replays. Make sure that you ask questions in there because we are writing all of those down. We're just taking our time here, and we are trying to do this right? When you set the foundation correctly, then your house is not going to fall. So that's what I want to help you, okay? And yesterday, many of you, it was like an aha moment, just like it was for me, about our TikTok handle. And it was very interesting in how it was explained and everything. So it was also for me an aha moment when I was able to understand the whys of it. But if you're not following the videos, you are going to not be in line, and you're not going to understand what we're going to talk about today. All right, so there's 5 steps to finding your niche. Obviously, we are a jewelry company, so let me give you some help, and then from there you can take the advice that I have, and then you can apply it how you think is fit. Okay, so one of the things that I have learned with TikTok is because it's mainly like Google. The more you post about one thing, the fastest you will grow. Okay, the more you post about that one thing in your niche, the faster you grow. The more you combine it with the other things, you're not going to grow as fast, but you're going to continue to grow and you're going to add value. So it matters how much you post and where you post and what you post. If you have 5 different things that you want to post about, you're not going to narrow it down, and it's not going to help the TikTok algorithm to know where they should share you to. Okay, so I've learned that when I first started, I posted Christian content. I posted about my family. I posted about jewelry, but I wasn't really posting a lot about jewelry, which is what our main purpose of joining TikTok is about posting about the jewelry, right? And finding customers that will like the jewelry. So with that said, that is your main niche, okay? If you have an account that is a personal account that you have grown to several followers because you're funny, because that is just who you are, just know the moment that you introduce the jewelry to it, because you haven't, you may lose some followers, you may gain some followers. It depends, because they were following you for what you were posting. It's just like you will see several content creators that have 2 different accounts because they want to target people, like let's just say for cooking. So they have their cooking channel that is just about cooking, and then they have their other channel where it's just basically blogging. Okay. So those things matter. Okay. So with that said, for me, I had to make a choice. Okay. Because I have things that I am very passionate about, that is not just jewelry, that are my core beliefs. And I really thought, and I did, I created a different TikTok account just for jewelry, but I'm going to use that for my backup account. I'm not focusing on selling on TikTok shop. So if your focus is to grow to 10K and to get the TikTok shop and you make commissions, just know you're not allowed to do that with this company. You're not allowed to combine you selling other products with the jewelry, with paparazzi jewelry. So my main focus and my bread and butter of this business is paparazzi. So with that said, my niche is jewelry, fashion, growth, And obviously I'm a Christian, so I do have obviously I'm going to talk about God. And I'm okay if I don't grow faster. Now, you don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm just sharing the insights of it. And then you choose what your niche is going to be about. Okay? So let's go ahead and start this with you. And just for the sake of it, mine is faith, fashion, and personal growth. I know for a fact that I encourage people, and that's the gift that God has given me. I'm a visionary, so I can influence people to continue to grow and to be better for themselves and for God. So that's something that I'm very passionate about, and I'm not going to let go of it. Can we limit our audience because we are Christians? Yes, it can limit, because some people are not Christians and they don't want to be with Christians. And you have to understand that I'm okay with that. If you don't care, you do you, my friend. If you don't want to limit your audience, you just focus on jewelry, and that's how you're going to be able to grow faster. Okay? I don't care. I'm here, and I'm not trying to impose my beliefs, but I know what I want, and I know who I am, and my stands are, I am going to pursue, I am going to shout that I love Jesus and that he has done so much for me. And then I love jewelry and I love helping people. So with that said, you have to make a decision on what you want your niche to be. Okay. So let's go ahead and help you today. And let's go ahead and find out the 5 steps to finding your niche. And that's what we are helping you with. Number 1 is start with you. You need to ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What do I naturally talk about? All right, are we there? What am I passionate about? What do I naturally talk about? And I want you to understand that I'm not asking you to be like me. Something very powerful was said at convention this year, where Trent Curvy said, follow the right cat, but follow the cat that is most likely to be like you. Listen, you are not naturally going to be like me, my friend. You're naturally not going to be like Emily Brinson. You're naturally not going to be like Erica Cole or whoever you want to mention. Because your beliefs and your core things that you believe on are not aligned with each other. So you need to follow the right cat. So I may not be the right cat to follow, friend, when it comes to what do you believe, okay? So what are you passionate about and what do you naturally talk about? You need to look at skills, at experiences, at stories that make you unique. And that is very important, because I am very passionate about discipline. I'm very passionate about my walk with God. So I am going to talk a lot about that. Right now, I am getting up every morning. I'm going out the door and I'm walking about a mile. That's my goal. Just walk 1 mile. And I'm going to push that on the people in the audience that listens to me, because I'm passionate about it. So I'm going to push them to have a healthier life. I'm going to push them to, and those are the people that are my people. So what are you passionate about? Maybe it's dancing. You know, I have Edie's here. She's going to come and give her testimony in about 2 hours. She's very passionate about dancing with her husband. So you need to find out who you are, my friend, and how God created you. Know how you want to be, because that's not who you are, my friend. Okay? So find out who you are. So what am I passionate about? What do I naturally talk about? You need to look at the skills, experiences, because we are experiencing things. God has given you so many talents. You have worked before in corporate America. Maybe you're a mom and you have skills that nobody else has. And you can be helping so many other people, right? You have stories that make you unique, and that's what you share about. So for example, for me is faith, fashion, encouragement, and personal growth. Those are my 4 core things that I will talk about every single time I am on a live. Number 2, identify who you serve. Identify who you serve. Who do I feel called to help? What do I want to impact? Who do you feel called to serve? That's part of your niche, my friend. That is part of your niche. Okay? For example, it can be busy women who want to feel confident in their faith and style. For me, the people that I serve, listen, I have heard so many ladies buy from me, all because they just come into my show. They want to feel inspired. They want to feel motivated to grow. And they come into my show just to be inspired. And then after that, they're the ones who, they feel like, oh, it feels like Andrea just gave me some really good pep talk, so I'm just going to buy something just because I want to show her how much I appreciate her. They literally buy, not because they want to buy or because they're going to wear it. They literally buy because I have helped them by just talking and being who I am. Okay? So identify who you serve. Number 3, define the transformation. What does that mean? People don't just buy products, my friend. They buy the results of the products. How does the jewelry make them feel? Ask, what will my audience gain from connecting with me? For example, I help women inside and out, spiritually, personally, and in their style. Once they find out who they are in Christ, because they're Christians, so they're following me, or maybe they're not, but they're drawn to that, hopefully, Jesus light that shines through me, they're drawn to that they're going to be like, what am I getting out of this? And they get something because I am walking on purpose. I know who I am. I know what I want to share. I know what I'm passionate about. And the jewelry is just the icing on the cake. That's it. Okay? So you need to define the transformation that you're giving your clients and the people that are going to come and shop with you. Number 4, test your content pillars. You need to test your content pillars. What does that mean? It means you got to pick 3 through 5 main themes. That means faith. For me, it means faith, fashion, growth, lifestyle, and community. I am so big on community. If you ask my customers, what is the main thing that they also follow me for? It's because they get community. They have built a community inside of my VIP group. They have built a community of women. They show up every single time I go live. And I'm just like, how do they have the time? But because they get something out of it, they come back and they join that community. So what do you have to give? So you need to create content in each and see what resonates the most. So mine, I have broken it down into, I am going to post about jewelry and anything that has to do with paparazzi. That's one of my pillars. Obviously, I'm going to talk about God, but I also, inside of God, I talk about growth. Because I believe with all my heart that if you can continue to grow in so many things, in so many areas of your life, whether it's spiritually, whether it's physically, so many things, you are going to continue to help other people and you're going to continue to pour onto others. That's important. And then number 5, you need to refine as you go. Your niche is not set in stone. So maybe right now you may feel overwhelmed, which is why I say just choose 5 things and then try them out. Now you may not even go with that. Okay? But you tell me, Andrea, how do you talk for 4 hours? It's because I'm passionate about what I talk. How do I endure all those 8 hours sometimes that I go live? It's because I'm passionate about what I talk and I get to share that with others. Right? So your niche is not set in stone and you need to start broad and then niche down. So mine is paparazzi, God, then paparazzi. And then even then, I love teaching. So, those are my main 2 pillars. Mine is all about growth and it's all about jewelry, styling, tips, fashion. That is in between those. That comes into like categories below paparazzi. Okay? So, Here we go. So we talked about that. We talk about what are you passionate about? What do you naturally talk about? What skills or experiences make you different than anybody else? Write down 3 to 5 passions or strengths that you have. We talk about identifying who you serve. Your niche isn't just about you. It's about the people you're called to reach. So who do you want to impact? Who do you want to understand best? Because you've been there. Busy women who want to grow in faith and in style. Do you know how many women don't have any confidence? I mean, I was one of them. Do you know how many women struggle with insecurities about themselves and then they project it onto other people? Majority of the women in the world, friend. So how can we help them with our jewelry? What are you good at? What are you passionate about? What experiences do you have, right? We need to define the transformation so people don't just buy products, they buy results, they buy solutions, and they buy transformation. So what do people gain from connecting with you? How does their life look better after working with you or following you? What do you bring to the table? For example, for me, I help women shine inside and out. Because I teach them spiritually, I teach them personally, and I help their style. Yesterday, I went live and I talked for almost an hour about what is the difference between boho style and Western style. Because I'm very passionate about learning the different styles and actually wearing those styles because of why. Why do we hide with our clothes? Why can we not walk with our shoulders back? Because we worry so much about what people think. And we don't want to be bold and we don't want the attention. Well, why don't you want the attention? I mean, do we even, what can you wear what you want to wear? So I talk to them about that and I show them how to style it, you know? And then we talk about testing your content pillars. Your niche becomes clear through consistency. And you just started, my friend. So you're not going to be posting 5 to 7 times a day, 20 times a day. Whoever tells you to post 20 times a day and they're crazy. You start with 1 time a day. And if you haven't even started posting, that's okay because that's what you're here for. You're going to learn the foundation on how to post and what you should post about. But we can't start there until you find your niche, right? So like we said, create a test content in each pillar, and then you're going to be able to find out what you're going to post the most. And then we talk about refining as you go. Your niche evolves. Don't wait to be perfect. How many perfectionists do we have in the room? Because I was one of them. Right? We don't wait. You start now and you just adjust as you go. And then you can go back and look at who you were and how much you have grown, right? I need to remind you that clarity comes from action, not overthinking. Can we write that down? Clarity comes from action, not overthinking. How many overthinkers do we have in the house, friend? So it takes consistency, it takes patience, and it takes listen to feedback. Because you will see me check your work in here. And I may even in the middle of the week come on live and then just ask for permission to use you as an example and be like, here's what you need to work on. Just like somebody yesterday, she posted her thing and then she asked me, what do I need to do now? And then I told her what she needed to do, but obviously she did not watch the videos and she obviously is not going through the guides. So I'm not going to respond to that because you need to do your job. We talk about expectations on our first video. I am not going to help you if you don't start helping yourself first. I am not an enabler. I used to be, but that's when I learned that I need to set boundaries and I care about you and I want you to be the best version of yourself. So you need to do your research. You need to go through the guides. I'm not asking you to check all of the posts inside of this group. I need you to pay attention to the posts that I make and to the posts that are in the guides. Those are like goal right now if you want to get done with this boot camp. You need to go through those so that you're able to follow the steps in order. They are in order. Every morning I take my time before I go live and I put them in the guide just so that you can find them quicker. But if you don't take the time to soak that in, or if you're enabling more people to continue to ask when the answer is right there or we haven't gotten to it yet, You need to help others, right? So that's it. So your niche equals what you love, who you serve, and the transformation that you bring. That is at the end of the question. That's what the niche is. Okay? What you love, who you serve, and the transformation that you bring. So is your story, is your style, and your voice are your superpowers. So your niche is already in you. Now it's time to share it with the world. All right. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you watch the replay, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless you.